Now, a new survey out today is showing almost half of the millennials say this one thing is keeping them from having more than one child. Do you think you know what it is? Take a look. It's no secret that millennials, the largest U.S. age demographic, they're struggling with debt and difficulty securing decent paying jobs. And because the millennial generation continues to accrue more debt than the generations before them, millennials who now have their own children are finding that their debt has actually negatively impacted them as they kind of struggle to achieve their life goals. David Sparrow and Paul Golden are joining me to talk about a new survey that shows how millennial age parents are feeling about their financial strain and really what we can do about it. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me this morning.
Pleasure. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Now, I did kind of reference this survey. Did it kind of tell us how millennial age parents are kind of feeling about their confidence when it comes to finances?
Yeah, it was really informative, and unfortunately, the confidence doesn't seem very high. When we think about millennials and money, debt is the thing that comes to mind, and the big culprit there is the amount of student loan debt that this generation has. But my organization has been doing research and studying the millennial group for almost a decade now, from the time that they've started college and as they emerge into adulthood. And we're finding that the inability to save, coupled with debt, has them delaying certain life goals like getting married, starting families, and even in some cases buying homes. And so our partnership with Parents Magazine looked at a very specific segment of that population and looked at the family and finance dynamic of what happens when you introduce a kid into the scenario. So we found 2 in 5 of our survey respondents said that they felt like the quality of their financial life needed improvement, that it was not at an acceptable area for where they thought it should be. And 51% of the respondents said that they would trade a year off of their life to have better financial security. So it shows you just how desperate they're feeling right now.
Wow, these are, like you said, these numbers are kind of very telling. Was there any other kind of like key factors that we hit on in the survey?
Key factors, wow. Well, almost half of respondents said that they wish they'd waited longer before they had a child. So that should indicate that they just didn't feel comfortable coming in. And, you know, it's not hard to understand why when it's $304,000 is the figure for the average expense of raising a child to age 18. So that doesn't even include college or when your child leaves the nest. So you can imagine the challenges that millennial parents are facing on a day-to-day basis in, you know, all the expected and unexpected expenses: childcare, housing, food, education, you know, all the stuff that comes with having a baby and then a child. So it's challenging environment for young parents.
Well, so now we know how, you know, a lot of people are feeling, things that are coming up as challenges. What do we do now to kind of get that confidence back, or maybe even more on a long-term basis? What are some things that they can do?
Well, okay, so it's a 4-point plan. First is debt reduction. Go after your debt. Go for the smallest debt first, and then that will help you build confidence to go for the next smallest and working your way up. Once you get rid of your debt, you're gonna feel a lot more comfortable. Budgeting, you need to really look through sort of what I call a want versus a need matrix. So you really need to account for every dollar that's coming in and going out, and set strict limits on how much you can spend every month on each of these items. Third, I would say, is retirement. You can't borrow against your retirement, so start right away if you haven't already. Make sure you put in enough to get your company match on a 401k. Increase your deductions every year if you can, and also make it automatic. Having it come out directly, you don't feel it the same way. Finally, college savings. If you want to avoid the next generation from having the same kind of debt that you've probably had to deal with for college, then open up 529 and start funding it right away. Get your parents and friends to donate as well to that.
Well, I'm glad that we have a plan and there's something that we can do about how the millennials are feeling. Gentlemen, is there a place where we can go online to get some more information?
Yeah, you can get full details on the survey, a lot of great tips in parents.com, parents.com/family-finances, and more tips and resources at smartaboutmoney.org/family as well.
Gentlemen, again, thank you so much for all of this. That survey was definitely eye-opening.
All right.
Thanks for having us.
Our pleasure.
Stay with us. There's more right after this.